Hey guys, welcome back. I know it's been a while. I have a lot to tell you. I survived Hurricane Irma, as did my babies. So I meant to make a video before the hurricane hit and everything, but I was at Dragon Con and I got back from Dragon Con on September 4th, which was a Monday, like really, probably around 7 or 8 o'clock. It was about like a 6.5 hour drive home from Dragon Con. And then immediately had to start preparing for Hurricane Irma because Hurricane Irma was going to hit Florida. And if you saw any of the satellite images of Irma, it was about the entire size of the state of Florida. So it was huge. We made sure that our house was as hurricane proof as we could. We pulled in everything from our lanai. We made sure to get plenty of food and water. So we had about like 3 weeks worth of non-perishables and plenty of water for us and the dogs. And basically I know, baby. I did things like I took Nyx to get her next set of shots so that if we had to go anywhere around other dogs, she would be safe. Incidentally, I can now start doing obedience classes with her, so I'll be doing clicker training with her soon. I also got a copy of Nyx and Phaedra's vaccination records so that if we had to go anywhere again, I had all the information on hand. I got my car tuned up just in case. But I've lived in Florida since 2004 and in the past have never run from a hurricane. Basically, we just waited out. I bought my home in a no flood, no evacuation zone, so typically we're pretty safe here. A lot of people actually evacuate to where I live. It's not like the southern part of Tampa, which floods like crazy. I felt pretty confident that we were going to be okay. And then Saturday rolls around and it's about 2 o'clock and we've been watching the updates and all of the projected paths for the hurricane all week, and it's stressful and I'm tired. And Ray and Dave and I had decided that if it was going to potentially hit as a category 4. Oh, no. I know, baby. Oh, thank you. Ray and Dave and I had decided that if the hurricane was going to hit as a category 3 or 4, then we should consider evacuating. Well, on Saturday around 2 o'clock, the path updated and it looked like the eye or the eastern wall of the eye of the hurricane were going to go over our home. So we were like, all right, that's it. I guess we have to go. So I packed up both of my dogs. You can see Phaedra back there and Nyx right here in my arms. And I packed up Ray and Dave and we took both of our cars and we left. We went to my friend's house in New Orleans and we stayed with her for a few days. The drive to New Orleans wasn't really bad at all because nobody was really evacuating there at that point. So it was like 9 or 10 hours, wasn't long. I know, baby, I know. I know you're like wanting to get down. And oh, you're such a sweet girl. And so we had fun spending time with my friend Noelle in New Orleans. We watched the hurricane hit and it did a lot of destruction to the Keys and Miami, but apparently our place never lost power, never lost the internet or anything. So Monday we packed up to come home and we were planning on leaving around 8 a.m., which would be like 9 a.m. my time. But Ray was the only person from his group at work that could get on to fix a problem because nobody else had power. So we ended up getting stuck staying in New Orleans until we didn't leave until I think like 2 o'clock our time. So that made the drive back miserable and grueling. Oh my gosh, I know. That made the drive back miserable and grueling. What should have been like a 9 or 10 hour drive turned into a almost 17 and a half hour drive. We were so tired. I kept looking, trying to find a hotel that would take us or a rest area. Everything was full because everybody was coming back. Like I-10 East and 75 South were a nightmare. They were just congested, clogged up roads filled with a million people. And the horrible thing is a lot of those people were driving 20 miles under the speed limit, which caused the traffic and caused all the congestion. But we couldn't stop anywhere because everywhere was filled. Like you couldn't even stop at a rest area and expect to go to the bathroom. It was terrible. So what we ended up doing was just driving all the way through. We didn't get home until like 7:17 a.m. on Tuesday morning. And I mean, I was so tired that by the time I stopped driving and I was just talking to Ray and Dave to try and keep all three of us awake, I would fall asleep mid-sentence. And apparently it had been such a long, stressful drive that I was just not handling it well. So we got back here and we were happy to see that we had power, we had internet, our house appears to have no damage. I still have to have somebody check the roof because I wasn't willing to get up there myself. but like the outside of our house looks fine. The only, like, there weren't even any really trees down near me. There were basically palm fronds from palm trees, but that happens just anytime there's a stiff breeze. So we felt like very lucky that our house had no damage. We did like drain our pool by a foot just so that if there was going to be excessive rain, the pool could take some of it. And when we came back, our pool was filled to the brim. So that seemed to be been a good call, but we didn't have any water damage, no flooding or anything. We were so lucky. Many of our friends were not as lucky. The ones that are in South Tampa have no power. A lot of people didn't get power back until today. They may not get power. Some of them may not get power back until like next week. My friends in Orlando, which is where the eye of the hurricane ended up hitting, or at least the eastern wall, some of them had trees go through their homes, some of them had their roof ripped off, some of them had water damage, so they definitely had it a lot worse. There was no way in hell I was going to leave my dogs behind. When I looked at shelters, there's only one shelter in my county that would take dogs, and they don't take dogs under 4 months, so I couldn't have even taken Nix to a shelter if I wanted to go. The only reason I was nervous about staying in my home during the potential Category 4 hurricane is that I don't have any interior rooms in my home that don't have a window. Every room in my home has a window or has sliding glass doors or both, so it just made me extremely nervous at the idea of staying. And like I said, this is the first time I've ever actually ran from a hurricane or evacuated, so I don't know, it was pretty stressful. I'm really grateful to my friend Noelle for taking us in and having a good time with the dogs, so thank you. Oh my gosh. Oh, Nix is such a goofball. She's like, no, pay attention to me. I know, I love you, baby. It's very hard to record or have, it's very hard to record videos whenever it's just me and the dogs, so, because she's still not housebroken and I really, really don't want her to pee on my carpet. All the rest of my house, nope, don't chew on that. That's the mic. All the rest of the rooms in my house are acid etched concrete floors, so they're really easy to clean. But my makeup room has black carpet because the previous owners put black carpet in here. And if you've ever had black carpet, it shows every speck of dirt visible that you didn't even know was there. It's not ideal. And I have no desire to have the puppy pee on the carpet. So normally she's not allowed in here yet. So yeah, anyway, I survived the hurricane. I feel very lucky to have power and electricity. My home is okay, it hasn't been damaged, and we're all okay. Definitely, this was the scariest hurricane I've ever been through. And I moved down the day after Hurricane Charlie, so like I got to see the aftermath and damage of that hurricane. Anyway, I will have a video soon to talk about my experience at Dragon Con because this was the best Dragon Con I've ever been to. I had such a great time. And I will have a couple dog videos up because you guys have asked for those as well. So let me know what's going on with you because I feel like it's been forever since I've talked to you. Thanks so much for watching.